February 27th. It's about 55 degrees out here. The sun's shining nice. The bees are out flying. And I thought I would just check my hives just to see, since it's pretty warm out, what's happening. I knew this hive was mostly in the top of this box down here. So I'm just cleaning out all the dead bees that are on the frames, seeing what my resources... Oh my. You just fell to the ground. Sorry. Try that again. I'm checking out what resources are left in the boxes. I have a few honey supers with honey in them still. So I added one to this box here. Now I did add it on the bottom only because I have a bunch of sugar on the top already, and I didn't really want to make a crazy mess with dumping sugar down in the hive on top of what I'm pretty sure is brood, because there is pollen going in the hive right now. So I just put it on the bottom. Gives the bees a little extra room to start growing into also. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now, and then here in a few weeks I will probably add another deep back to it. Now, as you can see here, they did have a little bit of brood here at one point, but they obviously had to abandon it because of the temperature and the cold. So these bees are all dead. Just kind of cleaning them off. The other bees will come through and they will clean out this brood and get rid of all the dead baby larvae in there. Oh my goodness. The wind is blowing, but it's not blowing that hard. Sorry. Again. Okay, we'll try that. But as you can see, the bees are flying. These guys are trying to figure out what's happening here, because I've now just taken their hive and put it over here. And they're thinking, what is happening? Yeah, same here. You can see just dead bees starved out in this here. They just had to leave because temperatures got really cold and they could not survive the temperatures. They all moved up to the top, and whoever didn't move fast enough and was trying to eat, they died. We're gonna clean out the bottom boards in this one also. There's a bunch of dead bees on the bottom, obviously. I'm gonna try and get that done for the bees also, so it's one less thing they have to work on, and they can focus on pollen and nectar as much as they can. Our maples, I think, will start blooming here pretty soon. I have a bunch of maple trees in my yard and in my woods nearby, but I have a couple right at the house here that are pretty close to what looks like blooming. Now, this is foundation. I am going to leave this in here just because it gives the bees something to do. I will put syrup on these guys here 1-to-1 once it gets warm enough to do that at 50 degrees or plus. And that's at night also. You have to make sure that it's not going to freeze and make a mess. But that'll help the bees draw out some extra comb. And since they have so much drawn out already, I'm just going to go ahead and leave these in here for them to continue drawing out. Keeps them busy. Sometimes bees need to be busy. Take all their work away, then they don't have anything to do. When there's 60,000 of you in one hive and not enough jobs, then that's when they decide to get grumpy at their beekeeper and go after them. I don't have that very often. My bees are all pretty good. They're well behaved. Alright, I'm going to jump over here and grab a couple new frames because this is too wonky. I've got better than this I'm putting in. I don't know if you can see this well in the light or not, but this is a pretty good pollen frame. There's some pollen in there from last year. This one doesn't have anything, it's just empty. So we'll try and get this one close to the center, or closer to the center. I have another kind of wonky in here that I want to get to the edge more. All right, pollen going in. A lot of propolis on this frame. Bees make propolis from tree resin. They get the tree sap and they make this sticky substance that they put in their hive to use as an antibiotic for the hive for the winter. Helps with disease. It's also great for making tinctures if you're a naturalist. My goal this year is to make a propolis tincture. So I will collect that propolis and melt it down. Okay, we're in. Now let's, oh heck. Kind of want this one in there. It's got a little honey on it. Maybe we'll take out this one that's a half drawn out. Right here. There's nothing on it. We'll give them that honey back. It's a little extra store for them that they probably could benefit from. All right. I'm gonna add a little pollen patty. Give these guys a little pollen patty here so that they can start raising some brood. We are supposed to have warm weather next week, but we are also supposed to have a lot of rain. So with that being said, I want to make sure that they have food and pollen, protein, carbohydrates and protein going in so that they are not lacking and slow down on the brood rearing. Should take a peek under here. Perfect. There's pollen going in. Looks like it could be maple pollen. I don't know if I squished any over here. I try really hard not to. This little guy's got some pollen on him. Can you see him? See them there with pollen. A few more down here have pollen on them also. That is an awesome sign. Alright, I'm going to show you in this hive real quick and then we're going to close it up. I'm going to probably add a little bit of, sure I'm not going to squish anybody. A little bit more sugar. I do have pollen patty in here and a little bit of pollen substitute. Oh, no. Sorry. I got gloves on and I'm dropping things. So I do have a little pollen patty in here and some substitute just so that they have some extra resources. And then I have sugar on the top. We're going to add some sugar. Okay, I added a little bit of extra sugar to them just to make sure they have enough, and I am going to close them up. don't have is a container for this propolis I have here. Since this is kind of like gold, I don't really want to just throw it away. Okay, so that is one hive done. I am going to go to the next hive here and switch things up a little.